Hello again. I'm here to answer a few remaining questions that you had that weren't able to be addressed during my talk today due to limitations of time. I'll start out with the first question here. What is your definition of evolution? Well, evolution can be defined as changes that occur either genetically or in our traits that occur over time. And they can be manifested across populations or across species. And evolution is caused by a number of factors, including random mutations that are arising over time, the functional effects of those mutations on us, as well as heritability, so how those mutations are passed on from parents to offspring over time. Second question, do you deal with biomedical engineering? No, my research is not in biomedical engineering. So biomedical engineering has more to do with designing devices, and my research is in the field of bioinformatics. What we do is we analyze genetic data using computational and statistical approaches so that we can address specific questions. And in my specific field, we deal with questions in evolution and in human health. Next question is more of a request that says, I'd love to help out if there's more opportunities for students. This is great to hear. I'm always excited to have new students join my group. If you're an undergraduate or a graduate student who would like to join my group, please send me an email, send me your CV or resume. And if you're a grad student, also pay attention to the deadlines for applying to the Computer and Electrical Engineering department at FAU. So we have master's and we have Ph.D. programs. Next question, what do I think of the efficacy of bioresonance-based tests for the purposes of detecting intolerances and deficiencies? So unfortunately, this is completely outside of my area of expertise. I don't administer any tests, and specifically these either. What I do is, in my work is, I develop computational and statistical approaches for studying genetic data. And so that's basically what I was talking about during my talk today. So this, unfortunately, I can't answer this question. Next question, our genetic makeup comes from our parents and theirs comes from their parents and so on. If we go 20 generations back, more than 1 million people have been involved in our genetic makeup. How many years do we need to go back to reach a limited number of people? So that's a very good question. Modern humans arose about 100 to 300,000 years ago. So quite a long time ago. These are just based on estimates from our fossil record as well as from our genetic data. And so there's a range of estimates, but the idea is we'd have to go back a really long time to reach the first modern human. To reach a limited number of people, we definitely have to go less far back. And so this is typically what we do when we do ancestry type studies, is we try to go back as far as we need to address the question of interest. So what genes do you think will show up during this pandemic that might be able to be seen in gene studies and tests? This is a great question, very timely, and something I'm becoming more interested in as well. As we all know, this new virus is novel, and we don't really know what to expect just yet. A lot of researchers are working on these problems. And one thing to note is that if you remember the slide that I showed you on from the 1,000 Genomes Project that showed the genetic variation, the number or density of mutations at specific regions of the genome, you'll remember that I pointed out a specific region containing a bunch of immunity genes on chromosome 6. It contains a lot of mutations, a lot of diversity in that region. And this is because these are genes that make up what's called the HLA locus. And these are genes that are responsible for fighting new pathogens. So just based on that knowledge, I think we can expect that at least some of those genes are going to show up. and perhaps some others as well. So this is, again, not my exact area of expertise, but it's a really interesting question that I'm hoping will, and other researchers will bring to light very soon so that it can help out in this time. So thank you all again for coming to my talk, for listening, and for asking these great questions. And I hope I had a really great experience, and I hope to do this again shortly. Thank you.